Your energy is your most valuable asset. It's the force that fuels your dreams, your actions, your growth. And yet too many people hand it out like it's unlimited, like it's free, like it doesn't matter who gets access to it. But here's the truth. Not everyone deserves your energy. You see, there are people in this world who are not here to lift you up. They are not here to see you win. They are not here to support your vision, your passion, or your purpose. Instead, they feed off your doubt, they thrive on your insecurities, and they take pleasure in seeing you second-guess yourself. And every time you explain yourself to them, every time you try to justify your decisions, you are giving them exactly what they want, access to your power. Energy is like currency. You wouldn't walk down the street handing $100 bills to people who have no intention of investing in you, would you? So why are you handing out your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy to people who do nothing but drain it? Why are you giving explanations to people who have already decided they don't want to understand you? There are people in your life right now who are not listening to learn, they are listening to respond. They are not asking questions because they care about your journey. They are asking because they want to find a weakness, an opening, a place to inject their doubts into your mind. These people are not looking for connection, they are looking for control. And the moment you start justifying yourself to them, you are giving them permission to influence you. Think about the most successful, fulfilled, purpose-driven people you admire. Do they spend their time explaining themselves to small-minded critics? Do they waste their energy trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding them? No. They move forward, they focus on their mission, they protect their energy like their life depends on it. Because it does. When you allow toxic, negative, or manipulative people access to your energy, you are letting them steal your focus. And focus is everything. Every ounce of energy spent trying to prove yourself to someone who is never going to support you is energy that could have been spent building your dream. Every moment spent justifying yourself to a person who only wants to tear you down is a moment you could have used to elevate yourself. You don't need permission to be who you are. You don't need approval to chase your goals, and you sure as hell don't need to explain yourself to people who don't even have the courage to chase their own dreams. Your energy is sacred, your time is limited, your focus is priceless. Stop giving access to people who haven't earned it. There are people in this world who are not interested in understanding you. They don't want to see your perspective, they don't want to hear your truth, and they don't care about your journey. What they want is control. They want to pull you into their game, their negativity, their chaos. And the way they do that, by making you feel like you owe them an explanation. You see, when you justify yourself to the wrong people, you are handing them power over your mind. You are giving them permission to dictate how you think, how you feel, and how you move. And here's the dangerous part. They don't even care about your explanations. Your justifications don't satisfy them. They fuel them. The moment you start explaining yourself, they see an opening. They see weakness. They see an opportunity to twist your words, question your motives, and make you second guess your own reality. Have you ever noticed how some people will never be satisfied with any answer you give? You could explain yourself 1,000 different ways, and they'll still find a way to make you feel like you're wrong. That's because they're not looking for clarity. They're looking for control. Their goal is to keep you on the defensive, to keep you proving yourself, to keep you locked in a cycle of doubt and over-explanation. That is how they drain your power. Demons and people don't want resolution, they want confusion. They want you exhausted, frustrated, and questioning your own instincts. Because when you're in that state, you're vulnerable, you're easier to manipulate, you're easier to control. And that is exactly where they want you. Think about it. How many times have you caught yourself justifying your dreams to people who have no dreams of their own? How many times have you explained your boundaries to people who have no respect for them? How many times have you defended your choices to people who have no business judging them? And what did you get in return? Clarity? Understanding? Support? No, you got more doubt. You got more questions. You got more criticism. Because demons and people don't feed on your truth, they feed on your insecurities. And the more you try to justify yourself, the more you invite them into your mind. You give them a front row seat to your vulnerabilities. You show them exactly where your doubts are, exactly where they can poke and prod until you break. And once they see that, they will keep coming back. They will keep testing your confidence. They will keep making you feel like you have to explain yourself over and over again until you forget why you were so sure of yourself in the first place. These people don't want your explanations. They want your energy. They want to see how far they can push you before you break. They want to see if they can make you doubt yourself, hesitate, or shrink. And the only way to win? Stop playing their game. Stop justifying. Stop explaining. Stop giving them access to your mind. There is something inside you, a vision, a purpose, a fire that was put in your heart for a reason. That mission is not random. That dream, that calling, that pull towards something greater, it was placed within you because you are the one meant to bring it to life. But here's what you need to understand. Your mission will offend people. Your growth will make people uncomfortable. Your ambition will challenge their complacency. And the moment you start moving towards something bigger than the life they have accepted for themselves, you will start hearing the opinions, "You're being unrealistic. You're changing too much. Who do you think you are? What if it doesn't work?" They will question your decisions. They will doubt your dreams. They will try to make you feel foolish for believing in something they can't see. And if you're not careful, their voices will start to creep into your mind. Not because they're right, but because you're human. See, the people who have given up on their own greatness will always have the loudest opinions about yours. The people who have settled for less will always have the most to say about your desire for more. It's not because they know better. It's because your courage reminds them of their fear. Your action exposes their inaction. Your belief in yourself highlights the fact that they stopped believing in themselves a long time ago. And so they judge, they criticize, they talk. But let me tell you something. Opinions don't build legacies. The critics, the doubters, the small-minded people trying to shrink your vision, none of them will be the ones standing in the arena with you. None of them will be there when you're putting in the work, pushing through the setbacks, and showing up every day when no one is watching. The people who talk the most usually do the least. They have time to criticize because they're not busy building. They have time to doubt because they've never had the courage to try. And yet, so many people let these opinions dictate their decisions. So many people bury their dreams just to avoid judgment. But here's what you have to realize. Your mission is bigger than their opinions. If you let every critic, every doubter, and every insecure person with something to say steer your path, you will never get anywhere. You will live a life of hesitation, constantly looking over your shoulder, constantly trying to prove yourself to people who don't even matter. And at the end of it all, when you look back, you won't remember their opinions, but you will remember the dreams you never pursued because of them. You don't need their approval, you don't need their validation, and you definitely don't need their permission. What you need is focus. What you need is to protect your vision like your life depends on it. Because it does. The greatest people in history, the ones who changed the world, the ones who built empires, the ones who left a legacy, they were all criticized. They were all doubted. They were all told they were crazy, foolish, or unrealistic. But they didn't stop because they understood something most people don't. Greatness is not a group project. Your mission is your mission. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. And if you let their opinions stop you, then you've handed them a power they were never meant to have. There is a force inside you, a deep knowing, a truth that doesn't need permission to exist. That truth is your instinct, your vision, your purpose, and it was never meant to be up for debate. But here's where most people go wrong. They trade their certainty for approval. They wait for validation before they take action. They hesitate because they want reassurance. They hold back their dreams, their ideas, their power because they are afraid of what people will think. They are afraid of rejection. They are afraid of judgment. And so they seek approval, thinking that if enough people agree with them, then they must be on the right path. But let me ask you something. How many world changers, empire builders and visionaries do you think were approved by the masses before they made history? How many of them waited for a round of applause before stepping into their greatness? None. Because here's the truth. Certainty creates success, not approval. If you are waiting for permission, you will wait forever. If you are waiting for everyone to understand you, you will never move. Because people don't approve of things they don't understand. And if your dreams, your vision, your goals are truly big, they will not make sense to most people. They will question you. They will doubt you. They will tell you it's impossible. And that is exactly why certainty must come from within. Look around at the people who hesitate, who second-guess themselves, who constantly ask for opinions before making a move. They are stuck in a cycle of waiting for the right moment, waiting for someone to say, yes, you're doing the right thing, waiting for the world to make them feel safe before they take action. But guess what? Certainty doesn't come from waiting. Certainty comes from doing. You don't become confident by asking for approval. You become confident by trusting yourself enough to take the leap. You move forward not because people clap for you, but because you know where you're going. Think about the most powerful leaders, creators, and innovators. They are decisive. They move with conviction. And here's the key. They don't waste time defending their choices to people who were never meant to understand them in the first place. Because when you seek approval, you give people a vote in your life. And not everyone deserves a vote. Some people will never approve of you, no matter what you do. Not because you're wrong, but because your certainty threatens their insecurity. Because when you move without needing validation, you expose the people who are too afraid to do the same. And so they judge, they criticize, they project their own doubts onto you. And if you're not careful, you will shrink yourself just to make them comfortable. You will hesitate, overthink, and second-guess your instincts just because someone who has never built anything in their life doesn't approve of what you're building. But let me tell you something. The people who succeed are the ones who stop looking sideways for approval and start looking forward with certainty. Because certainty is magnetic. When you move like you belong in the room, people believe you. When you speak like you know your vision is real, people start to see it too. So stop waiting. Stop asking for permission. Stop explaining yourself to people who are only watching to see if you'll fail. Move with certainty. Decide that you are enough. Decide that your vision is valid. Decide that you are worthy of the dream that was placed inside you. Because the moment you do, the world will have no choice but to take notice.